Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here, and today we have a video on the massive tier changes for Pokemon Sword and Shield. And we have a new NU tier as well. So let's get into this video. Basically, I'm on the thread. I'll be talking a little bit, giving my thoughts and breaking it down. And then we'll be going from there. So first off, Crawdaunt moved from UUBL to OU. I mean, I figured, I just get them all. Crawdaunt, Gengar, and Obstagoon, they were all recently banned from the UU tier. And I said in that video that they have usage in OU to the point that they're probably going to move up to the OU tier. And that's exactly what happened. Gengar is phenomenal on Ghost Spam with Will-O-Wisp and Hex. You typically see it alongside Dragapult or Aegislash. Obstagoon is actually a really good wall breaker in the tier as well with Bulk Up and its ability to deal with Ghost types, for example, like Dragapult. So obviously it is immune to the Shadow Ball and whatnot coming out. And then also it has, because Mandibuzz typically has to run specially defensive for Dragapult and Hydreigon, though sometimes they do run Mix Spadef. Obstagoon has Bulk Up and Facade to muscle through that, as well as Knockoff just being really good. Like, its dual stab is phenomenal, especially with close combat. And then, of course, Crawdaunt is a giant wall breaker who has been seeing usage in tournaments, as well as on the ladder in either rain teams alongside Dracovish, or just in general on most offensive builds as your stall breaker of sorts, right? Its ability to just click Knockoff, and also Crabhammer alongside that to muscle through the likes of Mandibuzz, as well as Toxapex and Ferrothorn. It also got the new toy in close combat this generation, which is really, really nice. So we lost all those Mons in BL. So goodbye to those BL Knights, and they all moved up to OU. About time Gengar went up to OU, though. It's amazing. It's amazing this generation. They made Ghost type even better, and the lack of Pursuit really is just what makes it that much better, too. Cloyster moved up from UU to OU. This is another Pokemon that has recently seen a lot of usage. A lot of people have been using Shell Smash Cloyster with King's Rock. And the moveset is typically Icicle Spear, Rock Blast. And the last move is actually Ice Shard, because it allows you to revenge some of the common Scarfers right now. Hydreigon is actually the best Scarfer currently. People would argue. You could argue with me on that, but I think that's a kind of popular opinion. It's one of the best Scarfers. And Dragapult is also another Scarfer that runs around. And the other ones Cloyster can deal with, but its ability to muscle through Corviknight and set up on it because it doesn't really care about Brave Bird or Iron Head. Obviously, it has to worry a little bit about body press after it shell smashes, but also just naturally being able to go for Icicle Spear in front of Mandibuzz and not setting up, right, and either flinching it with that 41% chance to flinch with the King's Rock. I believe it's 41%, and also just muscling through those bulkier builds. So Cloyster found its way to the OU tier. I think it's been a while since Cloyster's been OU. I feel like the last, I could be wrong, but I feel like maybe Gen 5 was the last time Cloyster was OU, and I don't even know if it ended in Gen 5. We'll see this right now just so I know. Add Pokemon Cloyster, yes. Okay, let's check Gen 6. We're on Pokemon Showdown, by the way. Don't believe you were OU. Yeah, I don't remember you being OU in Gen 6. So it took a while, but Cloyster has got back up, and I feel like that really has a lot to do with, again, what's running around. Again, Hydreigon being one of the better, better Scarfers right now. The Rotoms picking up in popularity, which are all, besides Rotom Wash, which are all weak to moves that Cloyster can go for. Rock Blast for Rotom Heat, Icicle Spear for Rotom Mow, which we'll be getting to in a second. And just its ability to wall break as well can be used on teams with dual screens alongside Grimmsnarl. I really wish I could get, in the future, I'm going to try and do these because I want to get these out as quickly as possible because I want to give you guys my fresh thoughts. But I think in the future, maybe I'll upgrade it because I love to upgrade my graphics. I'm going to see if I can get you guys examples of the Mons doing it while I'm talking alongside it. That might be a lot of extra work, but I think it's worth it, just to look good. But anyway, yeah, Cloyster, great Pokemon, typically runs the same set. Very, very scary. It's seeing a lot of tournament play right now. Rotom Mow moved from UU to OU, another great Mon that recently got popular because of the fact that it can set up in the face of Seismitoad, Mandibuzz, doesn't care about Ferrothorn unless, body press or anything, doesn't care about Toxapex. For the most part, obviously toxic and things like that as well. Being a water resist too is really big, and basically it's a nasty thought Pokemon that, like, the issue with Rotom Heat is that if your opponent has Seismitoad plus Corviknight, It's really hard to break through Toad. Now, obviously, Rotom Heat has adapted. Some of them are running Trick Ring Target. That way, they can Volt Switch. Others, if you Nasty Plot and boost enough, you 2 a KO. Well, you do over 50% to Seismitoad as well. And then you can also burn Seismitoad with Will-O-Wisp upon switching. But Rotom doesn't have to really worry about that. It's just a Pokemon that in itself, with Nasty Plot, now having access to Nasty Plot, which has really changed Rotom forever, giving it even more utility. I can't wait till it gets Defog and Pain Split again, which is really soon, too, this month. It just makes it a lot better, and then it can run either sub Nasty Plot or Discharge, Volt Switch, Leaf Storm Nasty Plot, or a status move like Thunder Wave or Will-O-Wisp. Discharge just is really good too because of the 30% chance to paralyze your opponent. Common switch-ins to this Pokemon are going to be Dragon types like Dragapult and Hydreigon as well. Corsola. Galarian Corsola moved from OU to UU. Now this is a pretty big thing for the UU tier. I want to say that UU right now is kind of okay, and by that I mean like I feel like you're forced to run either Weezing, Umbreon, Noivern, whatever, just because there's too many crazy Pokemon in the UU tier that are really hard to check, right? You gotta worry about Surfetch, right? Which is ridiculous. You gotta worry, which means you always have to use Weezing for the most part. Then there's breakers like Pangoro and Beware, and then there's Chandelure and stuff like that, so that leads open to Umbreon and stuff like that. I'm not really that fond of the current state of UU, I'll be honest right now. And Corsola moving down just makes the thicker teams or even the balanced teams a lot better. With Obstagoon, Crawdon, and Gengar no longer in the tier, Corsola has, and there's also no Bishop in the tier too because Bishop's OU. Corsola has a pretty nice time down there being a physical wall. Obviously, it doesn't break through the fatter mons like Umbreon plus Weezing. They can just wish infinitely, and Corsola will be burnt if it Will-O-Wisp the Umbreon because it's synchronized. But I think it'd be a really nice spin blocker for the tier. And I feel like it fell down mainly because Dynamax and Darmanitan are gone, right? Corsola was one of those mons that during the Dynamax and Darmanitan meta, you just send it in on that Pokemon and it get the Cursed Body, then it's trying to sap back up to full, and then it Will-O-Wisp the physical attackers. Like, it was always running the same thing, right? Stealth Rock, Will-O-Wisp, Nightshade for consistent damage, and then last move was either, like, what did I say? Strength Slap, Will-O-Wisp, Stealth Rock, Nightshade. Oh, there's 4 moves. Oh, okay. Sometimes you can put Haze on that. I didn't realize that's 4 moves. Sometimes you could put Haze on Corsola as well. But I think a lot of that has to do, again, with Darm being banned. Seismitoad on every team, so you don't have to run Corsola to get the Cursed Body on Dracovish. And again, the most thing, like, because Dynamax is gone, Gyarados isn't as popular, and Corsola can't Cursed Body dying and try to stab it back and whatnot. So it moved down to the U tier. Again, a big addition in terms of bulk for UU physical wall. Don't know how well it's going to check things along as far as like what Weezing checks, right? Because Weezing checks Surfetch well, whereas Corsola has to take a close comment because of Scrappy or Knockoff. But I still think it's going to be pretty solid on bulkier teams. We might see some stall variants with that. Dracozolt moved from OU to UU, and I've been waiting for this. I really hope we don't quick ban it, and I'm going to definitely talk to the council and say don't quick ban. I'm going to try my best. Because I really do want to play with this Pokemon in a metagame where there is no Dugtrio around. I seriously believe that when Dugtrio inevitably gets banned in OU, just because Arena Trap always gets banned, Dracozolt will make a return. But currently right now, Seismitoad on every team, Ferrothorn, you have Hustle to worry about, even hitting your own moves, and Dugtrio and Excadrill as well. Excadrill to a lesser extent because obviously, you have options to hit it. You have Fire Fang, you have Low Kick will do decent damage. Despite, I think it's like 80 base power versus Excadrill, but it's Hustle boosted, if I'm not mistaken. As well as Stomping Tantrum, like you have options for that. You can sub and Fire Fang on Ferrothorn too, but like just risking your misses and whatnot. The metagame isn't too kind to Dracozolt, I feel, especially because thank you. I'm actually doing the vid now. All good. My friend was telling me they'll send me the graphic for like the video I usually do where I have the graphic on screen, but I think it's fine doing it this way. But yeah, the metagame wasn't too kind, but when faster breakers are gone, like not having to worry about Gengar outspeeding it and threatening it with, not that Dracozolt wouldn't be able to eat the hit. That'd be perfect. That's perfect. Okay, they're sending me to right now. Not that Dracozolt wouldn't be able to eat the hit, but if you actually look at the UU tier itself, and we'll do that right now. So far, Avalugg is a mon, but obviously Banded will be 2 KO'd by Bolt Beak, especially with Hustle boosted. Digger's Bee is faster. There you can see it right here. I love that I can't wait to play these Pokemon. I really can't. Flygon isn't that much of a big deal. Hippowdon has to worry about being 2-hit KO by Banded Outrage, but of course if you go for Outrage, you lock into a Fairy move, and then that allows Weezing in, but Weezing probably doesn't kill you with Strange Steam, so I do think it'd be interesting to see how Dracozolt adapts. I don't know if Choice Band will be used as much. We might see a lot of subsets, we might see some Scarf sets, but this alongside a breaker like Sirfetch'd as well looks very scary because they really break for each other. So I'm excited to see how it works in a metagame where I don't have to worry about being arena trapped. However, that's not to say that Diglett and Trapinch aren't used ever, and I see them mostly in RU, specifically Trapinch, but hey, maybe people will start using Trapinch and UU as well because of Dracozolt. We'll see. Galarian Slowpoke moved from OU to UU. Can you just get this thing off my screen? What? Why? Why? Stop it. This damn meme. Get this out of here. Get this out of here. But I'll also have the whole usage stats. We'll be talking about it in a sec. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we'll be able to compare stats as well. So this might even be a longer video than what I was planning on doing. But yeah, it's a new mon, so it has to fall down naturally. Just go to Little Cup and just get out of my sight. That's it. Look, just give me my Galarian Slowking, which looks like it got bit by a Marini, and looks like it's a Poison type and Psychic type, and I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. Also, this thing's move pool says that, but we're not going to talk about that. Roserade moved from new to UU. I love Roserade as an offensive spiker and its ability to beat rapid spinners like Avalugg and Claydol. Offensively, even threaten something like Colossal with Sleep Powder, having no guard Sleep Powder versus the Blade, and in general, threatening Weezing and being able to switch into it and threatening with Sludge Bomb for neutral damage. Doesn't care about the Vaporeon cores, doesn't care about Foul Play from Umbreon. Good mon, good spiker, can beat Defoggers because of Sleep Powder. Yeah. Vaporeon moved from new to UU. I'm actually surprised that Vaporeon moved up to UU. I'm not necessarily surprised, but I thought, wait, am I surprised? Am I thinking about even the right tier? Hold up, I might be thinking about the right tier. Let me see something real quick, because that's not the wrong tier. I think I'm thinking about, yeah, okay, go. Because I mean, I think that's definitely a loss for the RU tier. Vaporeon is amazing, and like Wish Protect, Ice Beam, and whatnot is really good. So that's a big loss for the RU tier itself. In terms of UU, being able to pivot in on the fire types in the tier, Avalugg as well, not really caring too much. Scald and Wishing, big wishes into bulky mons, like, again, I always say Weezing. Doesn't really face too much competition from Milotic as a bulky water in a sense, because Milotic and Vaporeon do two different things. Milotic focuses on walling Pokemon by itself and recovering itself. But I guess in a sense it does Scald, it does Ice Beam, it does Haze just like Vaporeon, but Vaporeon's more of a support mon. So another bulkier mon added to the tier alongside Umbreon. So I guess if your balanced teams are weak to mons like Rhyperior, or just want to be able to wish pass to those squads, and maybe Umbreon doesn't fit your squad, that works, yeah. Makes sense. Water Absorber is also pretty cool too. And then Charizard moves from UU to RU. Unfortunately, well, Charizard was a demon in, I think, at times OU, but really UU when Dynamax metagame was allowed because of its max Airstream, max Flare to set up for the solar power. It now moved from the UU to the RU tier. So there's no more of that. I still think on Sun teams, especially with like Ninetales or Torkoal, it's really good. Heavy Duty Boots is a great item for Charizard, allowing it to come in and out. It doesn't currently have Roost, if I'm not mistaken, but it will get it during Pokemon Home, which will help Charizard out a bit, and we might even see some bulkier variants with, I'm just making sure, I think I'm fact checking, but might even see some bulkier Will-O-Wisp variants like we've seen with like Moltres before as well. But as a Pokemon on Sun, Choice Spect or Scarf, solid. Though, I mean, Gigalith is used in the RU tier, and apparently, according to this, it is #1 in usage. So we'll see. And there's also Goodra down here, so there's nice checks to it. So now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about the tiers, and then we'll get into the NU tier, which is finally being created. So in OU, this is not OU. In OU, we'll look at the new usage. Dragapult, #1, nice. I think their usage just went down. Corviknight, Clefable, Seismitoad. This is a damn core right here, man. It's literally Corviknight, Clefable, Seismitoad. Or Corviknight, Sylveon, Seismitoad, right? And you wish with Clefable to these Pokemon. Sometimes you throw in an Aegislash on your team. This is just one of the best defensive cores right now. Dragapult Ghost Spam is even better than what it was before, especially because people are starting to use Gengar. You realize it. Excadrill moves down 5% still. Great spinner. I've been loving Swords Dance Drill as well, and just in general because the Rotoms are around and Excadrill has that speed tier to be higher than it, and also an offensive mon that threatens Aegislash and also threatens Spadef Clefable. Does like 44% to defensive size, so it's insane how good Excadrill is, which I mean everybody predicted back when we knew it was coming back. Hydreigon moving up, Life Orb, Nasty Plot, still great. Ferrothorn moving down a little bit. I still think Ferrothorn is great too, and I've been seeing a lot with Body Press and Knockoff, which is a way to deal with both Bisharp, which has been rising in popularity, as well as obviously threatening Aegislash, but also getting rid of the heavy duty boots on Mandibuzz is really cool. Aegislash, still great. I don't think currently it's even in any thought to be banned, though I still think Specs is great. I've actually seen Corviknight start to run Mirror Armor a little bit more in OU2. That way, when Specs Aegislash inevitably gets a special defense drop in an attempt to break through Spadef Corviknight, it doesn't matter. Aegislash ends up getting that Spadef drop, so Corviknight can still take the hit. Obviously, though, it can't Pressure Stall at that same time because it can't Pressure Stall and Mirror Armor. I love that Cinderace is rising up a little bit too. I think that Cinderace is great. Court Change, obviously, as Blender calls it, is really good. And I think it really fits on those teams, especially because it gets a lot of free switch-ins versus Pokemon like Clefable and even Corviknight with Wish support. So just being able to threaten those, wearing down Seismitoad, beautiful Pokemon. Rotom Heat actually moving down, but still being the top Rotom. And then we have a few of the other Pokemon here. Gyarados still barely keeping its OU. And look how Ditto going all the way up to 30. You see, we had Ditto at like number 2 in usage before, number 3 in usage, and now Ditto is number 30. Slowly but surely dropping off just because no more Dynamax means not a lot of use for it. I'm glad that Toxtricity stayed in OU, though I think that's going to be a crazy mon if it ever drops down to the UU tier. We see Como being at number 11, the Body Press set, phenomenal. I use that word a lot. Dugshow only number 20 in usage is interesting too. And Cloyster being a number 25. People using Nasty Plot Mew now, I think it's great. I've been seeing Hazard setting, of course, but I think Nasty Plot is a better one. Unfortunately, Mew doesn't have Roost, but like when it does get access to its recovery again, man, it's gonna be it's definitely gonna stay away because it can stall break, but it can't do it well now because it doesn't have any recovery. Gengar is slowly gonna be moving up, and then Rotom has creeped into the tier with that. So let's look at UU real quick, and then we'll look at RU usage, and then again we'll talk about NU. I'm sorry, if somebody wants to do like a portion, break it up, I don't really care. Go ahead and do that. So Weezing, number 1 in usage, as it should be. Best defogger in the tier, switching to Umbreon, switching to Powdon, doesn't care. Will-O-Wisp, Strange Team, Pain Split for recovery. Mamoswine, number 2, again, another great breaker in the tier. Actually, its ability to even break through Weezing, with just like, if Weezing switches it in once, it just needs 1 flinch. Rotom doesn't matter, because it's gone. The Blade is also considered, I think, the best Pokemon in the tier currently. It's like S rank, just because of its ability to sweep. That's really it. Like its ability to sweep, its ability to check so many Pokemon in the tier. A lot of this is, even though it talked about usage, obviously most of these mons are gone. Obstagoon gone, Gengar gone, Rotom gone. I love Morpeko, by the way, and I've actually been liking Morpeko a lot, both in UU and in RU. I mean, excuse me, and in OU. Excuse me, not RU. In OU, it's actually really good with Protect, Aura Wheel, Seed Bomb, and Fire Fang. Like its ability to break through cores is so cool, and it hits so hard. And I love Protect being able to do that. But Weave Out is interesting too because a lot of people were talking about like banning it, and this is number 28 in usage. So I think it's just lost so much right now, man. No Pursuit, no Knockoff is a big thing too. And Barraskewda just came to the tier, so it makes sense that's not that high. Cramorant still retaining its UU usage, which I'm happy about as well. I don't think we'll keep Braviary UU next shift, but we'll see because it's about to get Roost again, which is going to be amazing for sub-bulk up variants. And then we have the RU usage. We see Gigalith at number 1. Phenomenal check to number 2 Pokemon, basically. Great rocker in general. Has longevity. Vaporeon moving up again is a big thing because this is such a huge staple, I feel. Again, bulkier teams, like literally Vaporeon, Gigalith, Roserade, Sigalith, Goodra is a team, right? That's a team. Like maybe Steelix. That's a team that can work. A little bit weak to Passimian, but Passimian keeping its role in RU as it should. Vileplume showing this as well. I love growth Vileplume. Steelix having body press and being one of the premier, if not the premier steel type, because we don't have a lot of steel types right now. That's I don't know if a lot of people realize that we don't have a lot of steel types like currently, at least in the lower tiers. Turnitin having Rapid Spin is really cool. You see Silvally right there. That's really just like a testament to what I just said. I love this little graphic, by the way. Really cool job. And Silvally Ghost is great, too. I want to talk a little bit about that. But basically, fantastic spin blocker. And anything it doesn't beat, right? This is the set it runs. It runs Swords Dance, Multi-Attack, U-Turn for Momentum. So it doesn't even have to be an offensive, like, Swords Dancer. But then it also runs Explosion, because anything that it can't beat, it can just blow up on. Mudsdale having Body Personnel is really cool, too. Flapple avoiding the cutoff, which is nice as well. I still think Barbarical broken. Rillaboom being at number 15. I don't think it's going to stay there forever. And then we see Girder actually barely making the cutoff. So cool to see Girder and Aryu. I feel like we haven't seen that since Gen 5, maybe. If I'm not mistaken, too. Going back to that, Gastrodon is one of those mons that's going to be fluctuating in and out of the tier. Now, let's talk a little bit about the NU tier. I kind of just was going over and just getting my quick thoughts on that. But NU, let's just make a quick look over that. But Dreadnought being down there, automatically when I see Dreadnought and also Abomasnow giving Veil, I think of options of like Hail and also Rain teams. So especially when Arctovish gets Slush Rush. But Abomasnow having that Hail can be cool for Pokemon like Beartic as well. There's no Alolan Sandslash. I don't think it's going to be as good, but I do think we might see, especially because Vanillix is in the tier above, we might see some sort of combination of Aurora Veil offense that we always see in NU until it gets banned. And I don't want to like be all like, what's the term, like down about that or whatever it is, but that is what ends up happening in NU. I remember in that one year that I did Grand Slam like every few years, but that one year I did Grand Slam, the lower like rounds of it, which is a tournament by the way, the lower rounds of it, all I did was spam Aurora Veil. And Abomasnow is a good Aurora Veiler because it's not useless like after. Like let's talk about Alolan Ninetales. Though it's not here right now. Alolan Ninetales, it might come back with Pokemon Home. I have no idea how that works. Alolan Ninetales is good at setting Veil, but it's kind of weak and doesn't really offer too much defensively, but it has the high speed tier. Whereas Abomasnow can switch into water types and doesn't worry about Ice Beam because of its ice typing as well. So that's pretty cool. Arctozolt and Arctovish are going to be nice breakers. They don't have to worry about Wheezing or Vaporeon. Of course, there are a million water absorbers, I'm sure. Nasty Placophagus, I can't wait to see that. Crustle, I think, is a really like low-key sweeper in lower tiers just because of the addition of heavy-duty boots. So it basically always has its sturdy, and it can shell smash and do work with that. Corsola, might see a thing on Trick Room teams. We'll see what we have down here. I think it's crazy that Ice Q and Phalanx are down here, especially when one of them has Omni boosting, the other one has Belly Drum. But again, in tiers where you'll see Pokemon like Wheezing and Deblade and stuff like that, like these mons can't break. But down here, they're kind of free. And this is something you might actually see. Like I feel like I'm going to roll up on the ladder, and the first thing I'm going to see is Dreadnought, Ice Cube, Phalanx with Aurora Veil. I feel like that is something I might see. Garbodor is a fantastic NU Pokemon, always a great NU presence, gives spikes and dual spikes. I think Vaporeon, I think Glaceon, got a little bit better, and I also think that Wish support isn't that bad as well, even on ice types like this, just because of the addition of heavy-duty boots. Gothitelle is going to keep falling and falling because no Shadow Tag. Graplock, Does your Octolok have any use? It might. Like a physically defensive set might actually be good. I kind of skipped over Double. Hitmonchan, Hitmontop, Jolteon. Any ground types that I've seen so far? Wow. Okay. Appleton can wall it, but no ground, no ground, no ground, no ground. Okay. What's going on? Wait. Hold up. It's Anaconda. Okay, I was about to say, like, Jolteon and Silvally ground as well, and Stunfisk. Alright, I'm about to say, like, damn, Jolteon was about to have a field day down here, but I can definitely see Specs being good, especially on Rain or Hail teams with Weather Ball that it has now, so that's, like, giving it a way to counter that. So, like, I feel like if you see Abomasnow plus Jolteon, that's reminding me of, like, the SPL game that I had versus Casillas, where I had Camerupt and he had that, whatever. That'd be a pretty cool core, I feel like. Kinger can be a great setup mon. Liepard doesn't currently have Prankster, but when it does, you might see it with the Sunny Day as well as Rain Dance. Ludicolo being a good Rain abuser alongside Dreadnought. I think Dreadnought's great. Mantine being a great Rain abuser alongside those two. I've actually seen a Mantine currently in OU do really well in tournament, and it was like sub-Roost, Hurricane, Surf, and it had Metronome, so it was able to break through like Mandibuzz and Toxapex and things like that. And obviously, Sub allows it to avoid Toxic, and it doesn't really care too much about Foul Play, so that's really nice. When these things get Prankster as well, we might see, when this one gets Prankster, we might see dual screens on it. I believe Galarian Mr. Mime is down here too. Wow, it's okay. So it's considered NFE, which is great. So Galarian Mr. Mime is down here too, which I think is also a little bit better, and it has a great speed tier as well. I'm looking at everything. Like Meowstic doesn't really care too much. Liepard, yeah, but like yeah, base 100 is a good. I mean, base 100 is a great speed tier in this generation. So I'm liking that. The Pony, Quillfish being another staple spiker. We got Pincurchin and Pikamuku. Where's Snom? Orbeetle can be a great dual screen and also low-key huge setup mon. Do I see any dark types that we've gone through? I haven't seen any dark types yet. So, I mean, not that they really stop Orbeetle anyway because of Bug Buzz and whatnot, and Body Press is an option. But I'm just thinking about, Liepard, but I'm just thinking about, like, even Combine Store Power variants look very, very scary as well. Those Scrafty is down here, so nice. Always making its thing. I see Sock as well. Shuckle, so we'll see some sort of Stealth Rock and webs and whatnot. Shedinja might actually see something on if Stall is viable just because of the heavy duty boots, but don't quote me on that. All them damn Silvally forms that always end up in the lower tiers. Fairy probably going to be top if fighters are around like Sock. Dark is really good too, in my opinion. Slurpuff doesn't have Belly Drum, but when it does, it probably will get better. Currently doesn't have Belly Drum, but Pokemon Home it will get Belly Drum again. And then has Sticky Web as well. I do think that Stonejourner, especially with a lot of the bulky waters and whatnot, being in the higher tiers this generation, and its great speed tier, I'm actually pretty excited to see how a 4-attack Stonejourner does. Yeah, there's not a lot that actually in the tier takes it. Skuntank is also a really good Pokemon too, but no Pursuit, which is big. Yeah, there's not a lot in the tier that actually takes it. Toxicroak might stand above, and same thing with Vikavolt as well. This might end up turning into like what an old gen RU would look like. Togedemaru being down here is pretty cool too. But again, I'm looking at weather. I'm looking at Pokemon that like Jolteon, for instance, alongside weather. I think that these guys on Veil are going to be really cool. Double might be a really giant threat too with T-Spikes. Dreadnaught's great, whether it be Bandit or Swords Dance, and has a good speed tier in the tier as well. So I'm excited to see how this tier ends up shaping. I'll probably do a Showdown live on it tomorrow, not today. I'll build a team. Like, and just play a new. I'll build a team myself. But I'll do the Showdown live tomorrow, not today, because I do have the WBE game that went up as well. But let me know your guys' thoughts on the NU tier. We're finally getting more and more tiers. We lost a whole bunch of BL Pokemon. Sucks for me and Blender's, series, but losing those Pokemon does suck. I'm excited for Pokemon like Stonejourner, and honestly, yeah, I love the Rotoms as well, but we just go off that. I love the Rotoms because Nasty Plot is so good, and so same thing with heavy duty boots. So like Rotom Frost, for instance, can be a Nasty Plot sweeper on Hail squads and can switch into rocks multiple times and have those 100% accurate blizzards because of the hail. So I'm excited to see how things like that. I can't wait to build. I'm actually going to be building probably right after this. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on the tier shifts as well. If you guys want to see what's RU, everything, I'll link this down below too. Do you guys think that things will be quick banned? I'm hoping that UU lets us play with basically everything as well before anything ends up happening. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Leave a like. Check out for those that might not have known, first off, I have merch. So if you guys want to check out my merch, I have Drop a Dreepy merch. That's going to be available if you want to support the New Year Dreepies, and also till Sunday, if you use code Snowflake with a 3, you can get 10% off your order. But yeah, I'm really excited to try out these new Pokemon. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, my friends.